Um, hey y'all. Y'all don't have to make any announcement about who else is live, cause I'm live. So whoever else is live, it's just simply live. Anybody who is live is gonna have the opportunity to hit the link, but I'm not gonna be live because somebody else is live. Let me send this link real quick, like, honey. And I'm gonna set the tone for tonight. I got my guest in the background. Hold on, where's my Instagram at? Let me see here. Let me play some more music. Ciao. Okay, all right. Now that that's out the way, so let me go ahead and set a whole precedent right now. Let me listen to this disclaimer and listen to it well. And I do mean listen to it well. This is going to be another one of those get real, keep it 100 videos. I don't want to hear no complaints. If this type of commentary, if this type of content is going to stress you out, if it's going to cause you to have a stroke, if it's going to cause your heart to stop beating, if you're going to catch sickle cell, if one of your legs is going to twist up, if you're going to go blind in one eye, if it's just going to hurt your bones, if blood is going to start oozing out of every part of your body, please go ahead and dismiss yourself right now. Because at the end of the day, the things that transpire are about the people involved. You all just get to witness these conversations aloud. Now, a lot of these conversations don't necessarily have to happen aloud, but people want to always hit the live button. And I'm the kind of person where I like to address everything at the crime scene where the crimes were committed. So if you address aloud, you get addressed aloud. Okay? When my phone don't get hit, when I don't get a text message, when I don't get a phone call, but there is a upload is how you're going to be spoken to. Once again, if this commentary, if this here show is going to wear you out, if it's going to knot your naps up that bad, I don't want to hear nothing in my comment section. This is your opportunity to hit the go on with your business button. This is the time to click away. This is the time to click off. So nobody ain't going to have no excuse for being here. Now that you know what type of live and dialogue is going to be like up in this piece. Mods, please make sure that people understand what type of conversation this is. This is a 100 dialogue. Please tune in to the next upload if this here ain't your cup of tea. I beg of you. I beg of you. Don't make me beg you to do what's best for you. Okay? I want to make sure that we understood. because it ain't nobody else's business to even be tied over. Because if somebody else's business tied me out, I wouldn't even be in other people's business, honey. I would never let other people's business cost me that much. So I encourage everybody who is an adult and got free will that if somebody else's business is other people's business, is going to wear you out. Please. It is okay, baby, to let this one rock and roll. Yes, it is. Now, Knockout Media, if you in the building, I want to go ahead, because I don't see you in here yet. So let me go ahead and drop the link. And this link is only for Knockout Media. It's for MsMikko too. If MsMikko want to hit the link, she can. She has the constitutional right to hit it or to not hit it. That will be at her own discretion. But the link is specifically for Knockout Media and MsMikko, because Knockout Media will be joining us tonight as well. Thank you, Moss, and hello to everybody in the building. As everybody's filling in and we're giving folks time to get up in here, let me just make the disclaimer once again. This is another Iyanla Fix My Life. Y'all know that I'm a healer, okay? So I'm never ever, okay? If any of y'all know me, if anybody knows me, y'all know that I'm never going to turn down an opportunity to heal, because the problem with this part of the situation is that there's a root that won't get dealt with. There's a bunch of symptoms that get the attention. There's a bunch of coughing and wheezing and congestion that get the attention, but there's a root that has not been dealt with yet. And that's why the symptoms can't be cleared up. Okay? The side effects of cancer may be losing your hair, tired and weaknesses and fatigue, a loss of appetite, pain in your body. And you can treat all those aches and pains with medicine, but as long as there's a root, the cancer is inevitable. For all of y'all who making me aware that MsMikko is live, so are we. So I'm not sure what the announcement is supposed to mean. She is live, and so are we. The link has been dropped, and she is more than welcome to hit the link, because this is not a us versus MsMikko. This is not a versus battle. So she is more than welcome, once she get done doing whatever she is doing, to hit the link if she so feels like it. And I'm going to say it one more time to everybody to the front and everybody to the back. If this type of Iyanla episode, if this type of digging in deep, if this type of returning back to the scene of the crime commentary ain't for you, I want you to pull the covers up, hit the X button, and go ahead and say your nightly prayers and let the Lord take you on into Friday. I don't want to hear no complaints, because anybody who want to complain should be asleep and should be on another stream rather than sitting here enduring what's uncomfortable for them. So the only people I want here tonight are those who want to hold the space. The only people I want here tonight are people who are interested in doing the work. The only people I want here tonight are folks who understand the complexities and the depth and the layering of attempting to come to resolve. The only people I want here tonight are the people who are pressed about reconciliation. So pressed that if you got to do it again and again and again and again, then again it is. Because the same Bible that folk like to mention and quote from says that if your brother has offended you 77 times, then you work that thing out with him 77 times. This here is the work. If it's gonna wear you out, baby, find you another episode to tune into. We don't take it personal over here, baby. You ain't got to give your click nor your view to this here episode if it's gonna cost you anything. I don't want you to have to pop another anxiety pill. I don't want you to have to pop another high blood pressure pill. I don't want it to have to cost you nothing to be here today, baby. Because all you got to do is hold the space tonight. And remember that there's a difference between being the involved and observing. Okay? Being a character in the play rather than a viewer in the theater. Let me turn my phone off. Now that I done set that disclaimer, y'all, and mods, if folk get weary, if folk get stressed out, baby, if y'all see folks on the pass out, y'all see they can't take it, remind them to click on off. Don't let being here tonight cost you nothing. Okay? Now I do want to introduce Breaking the Culture, hello, and Knockout Media. What's going on? Once again,
yo,
if somebody else is live, if MsMikko is live, apparently, she can hit the link too. Okay? This is not a versus match. This is not a versus match. Now, what's going on, Knockout?
Hey man, so just like you just said, there's no sides being taken, man. There's no us against somebody else. Like, it's not a panel of people against somebody. Just like Consciouztv said, Mikko can come on this panel and it's not going to be any bad blood or anything like that in between anybody. At least coming from my perspective.
Breaking the Culture? You there, sis?
Hey.
Hey. I just wanted to introduce you guys to the stream. Obviously,
happy holidays, everybody. Happy
holidays, Merry
Eve.
Christmas, Happy New Year, baby. You know, it'd be epic to clear this up before the new year come in. I mean, this is, if there's any time to fight for some solidarity and some resolve and to come to some resolution, it would be right here, because we are literally at the end of a year. What would be very rewarding is to be able to put a period on the end of this sentence. Now, I've been telling people for months that this whole situation has been very multi-layered, because it's not just one thing going on. One thing in particular has taken up a lot of the space, but there's been a lot of moving parts as it relates to all of this. When we have these type of conversations, this is the attention we've brought to one situation, just brought to the other areas of this stuff that require just as much attention as the main stalker in charge. Now, we have been kind of the remaining three in all of this. King Jobs eventually got back to his business. MsMikko eventually got to his business, and we all proceeded forward in both our businesses and in giving these niggas that everlasting eternal work and keeping our foot on their motherfucking neck. Okay? I didn't feel no way about who jumped in and who jumped out, because it's everybody's right, it's everybody's persuasion to jump in and to jump out at their own discretion. Now, there was a live that happened on MsMikko's end a day or two ago. And we all know that MsMikko has been away for some time. Okay? Now I didn't get an opportunity to see the live, because by the time I wanted to view it, by the time I decided to view it, by the time I was interested in viewing it, it was privated. Now, of course, because the conscious crew members and the LILers also support MsMikko and support King Jives, people came back and asked me about the video. I hadn't seen it. But people gave their various perspectives, as they do about everything that goes on in this situation, whether it's from the line asinine team or whatever the case may be. They gave their various perspectives. Now, when I heard there was a video and that there were questions, because this is the part that I'm interested in. Breaking the Culture got parts that she interested in. Knockout Media got parts he interested in. Parts that I'm interested in are regarding the questions that MsMikko posed. Or maybe even the statement she made, I should say, not questions. Or maybe questions and statements wrapped up into one. Like, I don't know why Larry don't like me. I don't know why Conscious or CTV don't like me. The reason for me why I find that particular or those particular statements to be so interesting is because MsMikko knows exactly why Larry and or Davion would not like her if that were the case. Now, she don't know how I feel or Larry feel, because she's drawn a conclusion from some events she set off and some actions that she took. And because she reacted in those events and never came back to repair those events, she has been left with questions that she also able to still ask me and Larry about directly if she wanted to. But MsMikko has not bothered to contact me about the things that happened. And she hasn't bothered to contact Dr. Larry Reid, as far as I know. But what she has decided to do is continue to get on live and make these comments and assertions about me not liking her when she knows what she's basing those statements off of. And rather than her contact me directly, because she has my number, we've spoken over the course of a few months as all this played out. We've had our share of interactions. I've been supportive of MsMikko. So this would have been no different if she would have wanted to call me and to speak whatever needed to be spoken and to resolve whatever she felt she needed to resolve. That was not, but that never happened. But she keeps coming up. Once again, she did it the other day when she went live and she made those statements. And then the time that she responded in Knockout Media's chat to Breaking the Culture of Silence, and she went live and had some words for Knockout and also made the same comment. She don't know why we don't like her. Now, I don't know about everybody else, but I know why she thinks I don't like her. I know why she thinks I don't like her. And it's based upon something she did.
Now, CTV, when you say that, is it like you're saying you still have tension with MsMikko? Is that the case, or is it more so you're willing to let shit go to the side in the greater good of getting Darryl out the way?
It's well, the last part of that, yes. The first part is she has tension with some people on this side,
Right.
and my question or interest is, then why don't you be a big girl and take care of that tension? Why don't you take care of that tension? Because I'm aware that there's tension, and how much tension there is, and that was unbeknownst to me before it was known to me. And there's been a beating around and a gaslighting / avoidance wrapped up in a I don't know why they don't like me. And I don't understand why my phone can't ring in this situation as it did for every other situation I played out.
Right. Because I remember her talking. She's told me, she's explicitly talked to you about, the whole situation before she decided to, pull out, essentially. So I know that y'all, have had conversations behind the scenes. And my only hang up is, why isn't there some type of direct contact between you and MsMikko? I know, Andrea, you and Mikko have had, I guess, a chance to talk, and it's not always the best result, but it's like at some point there's got to be some, you know what I'm saying? There's got to be some way to work past this, And I know it's not y'all. I'm not saying it's y'all, but it's just like I feel like there's somebody who's running and telling Mikko all types of shit that we don't know about. You know what I'm saying? And whatever's being told to her, she's taking it like we hate her or something, And it's like I'm really confused at the situation. I know you said where the tension comes from, Andrea. You know where the tension comes from, but it's
But I'm
just
equally confused as well with you now.
yeah.
I'm confused because what I don't do is I'm not going to run after you about your problem with me, because your problem is your burden to follow up with me. So I'm not going to pick up the phone to call you about your problem with me. I'm not going to run you down about your problem with me. The burden is on you as the one with whatever problem you've created in your mind
to address it.
Yeah. Yes, to address it. Even if I become aware of what your problem is, I'm not going to chase you down about your problem with me. Because just like I'm a man and I pick up my motherfucking sword and I pick up my cross, and when I feel a motherfucking way and it's me who got the motherfucking problem, I resolve it.
Right.
And I put the address right on the end of the bow and the fucking arrow. So that you know exactly who said it and where it originated from. So when it comes to grown folk, I like to give grown folk the opportunity to pick up their own fucking sword, especially when it's they fight to begin with.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as I also want to say this. It's not that so much somebody. I stated in my life that people were protecting people or defending people. I shouldn't have said it that way. I should have said that it's more so people are seeing other people get done wrong and speaking up about it. Now, how that person interprets somebody speaking up about their situation and how they feel like they want to handle it, it's like I can't appease somebody all the time. You know what I'm saying? I can't read MsMikko's mind. So, I think it kind of all comes down to communication at the end of the day.
For sure.
Now, the other side to it is like I said, this tension. I feel like the tension is like, it's so great that it's starting to carry over to other people that don't necessarily deserve it. You know what I'm saying? And that in itself, I don't know, she said specifically that she's had trauma from the situation, which is totally understandable.
Yeah.
So how she deals with that trauma is, I can't be the judge of that. I don't think anybody can, on how she wants to handle it. And I'm trying my best not to offend anybody in the chat that may be a staunch supporter of MsMikko, but at the same time, we have to be able to call each other out. You know what I'm saying? If I'm wrong, I expect anybody in my chat, you, Breaking the Culture, anybody else to say, hey, you're wrong. But I also would want y'all to come to me as a man and or as a woman and tell me that in a private conversation. I wouldn't want you to go live and do it that way.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense. So
absolutely. So let me say this to you. Knockout, or why you here? Because see, I knew the shit would get messy from the start of it, which is why I had apprehensions about you coming on, because I knew how messy the dynamics were. I knew how much trauma was in place. I know how much people in their fifis and how the fifis will blind people to their ability to see straight. And when Mikko started crying aloud on her lives that she wanted a man, where the men at? I mean, which I'm going to be honest. I thought to myself, well, damn. I mean, your brother has been by your side at least for a time and all this. I mean, he's gay, but he's still a man. And I'm out here giving this bitch that everlasting work. And you also have partnership in that way as well. But I'm gay. So that became a interesting thing to me, because I was like, well, there are men here. But for some reason, she still is calling on a man. So it seems to me that she wants a different type of man. She wants a different type of masculinity. And she just kept crying aloud, where are the men? Where are the men? Where are the men? The men! I need the men! I need the men! And this was her daily, weekly video rhetoric was about the men. Where were the men? The men needed to stand up. So then, boop, you pop up like a groundhog from under the ground. Here's Knockout Media. You come on the scene as soon as you did. Mikko ran to support you every which way. Y'all check out Knockout Media. He's a wonderful guy. I'm taking him under my wing. He's my son. She was posting, sharing, supporter. Boom, 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 boom. She was team Knockout. Mikko actually called me about you. And I said, Mikko, because it's interesting that you brought up that trauma word, Knockout. Because I said, Mikko, I don't know how I feel about you endorsing someone very fresh to this situation, considering how traumatized some people are in this situation, and getting somebody else involved in this situation could lead to the victimization of another person. And I don't want that blood on my hands, because dealing with you motherfuckers is exhaustive enough, considering all that has happened. And I don't want another person being doxxed, being stalked, having crazy shit said about them. And while I do understand the desire for you to want as many people speaking for your character as possible, I think we also have to be reasonable and consider what the consequences and repercussions of bringing other people in could be. And MsMikko said, I hear you, Conscious. I hear you, Conscious, but trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. I hear you. He's cool. He's cool. He's a young man. He got fire. He's on fire. He's passionate. He can handle it. I said, Mikko, okay. I said, okay, Mikko. And this was a whole phone conversation. I said, okay. I said, but Mikko, the reason why I stayed not doing this on my platform for almost 2 years was because I considered my audience. And I did, and I know how personal supporters get. I know how invested they get. And people literally would email me crying. People would literally email me so upset because of what's happening. And so I take that into consideration. I took that into consideration for almost 2 years to not do this because people literally get so involved. And I said, you know what? If I start running this shit, people gonna lose their mind because it's just a lot. And even looking at it, you know, these are people that our supporters, you know, our supporters love us. So of course they're invested in our well-being. They're invested in our safety. They're invested. And so while I could have got out here and stumped on these motherfucking niggas for 365 days twice, while I could have did it 2 times over, I just didn't want to think about myself. I wanted to also consider what it would look like to put my supporters through it. So when Larry came up with the decision to sue, I said that would be the perfect opportunity to strike because we won't just be frivolously fighting and throwing tomatoes and apples at these niggas. There would actually be a end goal. There actually be something to accomplish instead of just video for video, remark for remark, etc. So I said that's when I will decide to get out here and finally deal with this when there's actually an end goal.
Right. Let me bring up some breaking news to you, CTV, and to everybody else. So look, I'm watching MsMikko's chat because, again, to my point, I feel like, you know, out of us here, you know, we've been in support of Mikko at some point. You know what I'm saying? Even breaking the culture of silence at one point was saying, you know, stuff in support of MsMikko, at least when it comes to the situation with Darryl, right? Now, there's somebody over in her chat right now under the name Darryl Bronston, and he's saying that you're talking about her, saying that she's a nut job.
He can kiss my ass, and I don't.
And I'm like,
hold on.
But see, it's people like that are making the situation worse.
No. I'm gonna tell you why you're not gonna give her that excuse, because MsMikko knows me better.
True.
She knows me better. She knows me better. And secondly, why we not gonna give her that is because she's a grown ass woman, and just like you running that stream, she can run this commentary and hear for herself before she decides to take somebody's word for it. So if she don't exercise her right to vet this commentary and to listen for herself, just like in Darryl's case, the courts can give him that everlasting work because the burden ain't on them to consider what he did I didn't understand when he had the opportunity to properly understand exactly what the fuck was going on with his situation. So I don't give these motherfucking grown ass niggas no excuse about somebody being in a fucking ear, because when shit is being said aloud and a motherfucker can hit the replay button, then you can exhaust that replay button because people is grown. So let her be a grown woman and put on her grown drawers, and if she needs to go behind Darryl, she can do that. All right, if she want to have a slip of the tongue, I can have 10 of them.
Yeah, but
because see, if a bitch came back and somebody said something to see, and that's why I clicked on her video the other day, because I didn't want to have to take nobody's word for nothing. Not when I can hit the replay button, not when I can hear for myself. I don't need 50,011,000 people giving me excerpts and their interpretation when she made the video and I wanted to hear since she called my name. But the video was privated, so I wasn't afforded the opportunity to hear for myself what took place. So I don't give a damn who the fuck is in her chat. MsMikko is older than all of us. And she can hit the replay button and clarify and verify for herself what's going on here on this platform.
Yeah. And so what you're saying is Mikko should know that we don't have any tension. There is no anger against her from us. there is none of that. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna say I have tension. I'm just trying to I don't understand why she got tension and won't deal with the tension.
Right. Breaking the culture,
while
you're
she
about to say
live,
something?
she could have been on the phone with the same people who she feel don't like her. While she keeps coming up here making these same rhetorical ass remarks, she could be on the phone figuring out her situation. So it's making me feel like you don't want to resolve, you want attention. You don't really want to figure it out. You want tension, since you won't click the link and you won't hit nobody's phone. So you want attention, not a resolve. Because when I want to resolve, I go directly to the horse's mouth. I'm not going over nowhere and hitting no link because I don't need no motherfucking live being deleted or privated. I want people to see the work done. I want the words to go down in history. I want the conversation to be reserved and preserved. I'm not going over there wasting this moment and this situation over a video that will end up privated. Because when the shit comes up again, because somebody ends up satisfied, nobody will be able to retrieve the facts that took place in the conversation. So if a conversation happens, it can happen over here where the live will remain open and up for analyzation and evaluation. And
so Darryl Bronston,
Darryl
Bronston, I have a specific question for you. What would make you go into MsMikko's chat and say that CTV is throwing dirt on our name? No. Why are you instigating?
Can we not give no attention to a troll? Because it ain't about him.
Yeah, and I know it's not about him, but this guy needs to get out, bro.
Any nigga named Darryl got little dick energy, so he acting like a Darryl because his mammy named him Darryl.
True.
His mammy named him Darryl. The name Darryl is cursed. Any of y'all who got children, you need to go ahead and run down to the Strong Thurman building and have your child's name legally changed. He's operating under a curse if you've named him Darryl.
I'm almost convinced that it's Randy. Breaking the culture. What'd you have to say? I don't know. I didn't mean to interrupt you if I cut you off.
Oh no, you good. You didn't interrupt me. I just want to address Mikko because my name stays getting brought up when I never bring her name up. I don't bring her name up publicly ever, and anytime I do mention her publicly, I'm actually usually in support of her in spite of the things that she did to me. And for her to keep saying that she just wants all of this to be over, I'm calling BS, because if you wanted everything to be over, there would have never been a live yesterday crying for attention because no one said anything disparaging about Mikko. When Kimberly was trying to blame Mikko for things that she had done, I believe, Conscious, you were in that chat. I actually stood up for Mikko. I was like, well, hold on. Like, I don't like the things that Mikko did to me, but you're not going to say that she did things that she didn't do. And I called that out in the chat. And I have also done that on lives as well. And every single time she goes live, my name is in her mouth. And without just cause. We all were there the day that Mikko and I initially even had any real interaction with each other. And she completely disrespected me in the live with the Mario. I actually remained calm. I remained respectful and continued to remain respectful. But she kept poking and prodding at me because she wanted me to tell her why I became friends with Jives, which I have said over and over again. I'm a grown-ass woman. I don't have to explain to anybody why I'm friends with anybody. If he wanted to know why I was friends with him, he could have opened up his mouth and he could have asked me that, and I could have kindly answered that question, but I didn't owe her explanation for that. And because I wouldn't give her one, it turned into a barrage of attacks on me. So then when I finally did decide to speak up for myself and speak out against the things that she was doing after she posted my daughter, she's upset. Well, how is that fair to me? I'm tired of being told that I have to be the bigger person. I'm tired of being told that what people do to me doesn't matter and that I'm supposed to be the bigger person to turn the other cheek because that person's so beloved by the chats or the crew or people. And it's like, that's not fair to me. I'm a person too, and I have feelings too. I genuinely did nothing to Mikko outside of not tell her why I was friends with Josh, which I did not owe her explanation for that. That woman has disrespected me. She's talked about my skin color. She has talked about my hair texture. She has attacked my children. She has made up rumors about me. She called herself trying to post information about me that she thought that she found out about me. She has disrespected my fiance time and time again. She has disrespected my story about what happened with me and Victor Cousin. She has done all of that, and I have never once returned her the favor. I have never tried to dox her, which I sent you knockout evidence, and I sent you Consciouztv evidence that I did not dox her. I didn't have to, because
Right.
Darryl Moore did it, and Kimberly did it, and Roxanne were doing it. And I sent the proof that they were the ones doxing her. And at the end of the day, it was not my job to stand up for her after the things that she was doing to me that were unwarranted. If I had done something to Mikko, I would have owned that, but I didn't. And I'm tired of being told that I have to be nice to people who treat me like shit and then want to get up here and play victim. If she wanted all of this to be over, she would have left everybody alone at the end of the day. Like, I didn't say anything about her. I know for a fact that I did not see Knockout say anything negative. I did not see Conscious say anything negative. I did not see Larry say anything negative. When she said she wanted to be left alone, everybody left it alone. And that's fair. So I'm just tired of her keep painting me out to be this person and doing things to her that I did not do to her. I never once stalked that woman. I don't know anything about Mikko personally because I don't care about her. I've said from day one that she was the female Darryl to me because I literally became a target of hers, and I never once repaid her that courtesy, and can't nobody show me where I've repaid her that courtesy. So I'm just tired of her putting on this facade that someone has done something to her and that she is a victim. No, you're not a victim of mine. I never did anything to you, Mikko Dooley, not once. And you are kindly allowed to hit the link and address me personally, because I've never done anything to you. And even when you brought me on your show, I told you that there were two things that I was not willing to discuss, and I still have the text messages. And I told you that I did not want to discuss them because my fiance told me he didn't want me to go there because there was so much stuff already going on. And then she chose to bring it up anyway, and that's why I blew up on her on that live, because we had already had an agreement of what we wouldn't discuss prior, which I had brought that to your attention as well, Conscious. So basically, I'm just to a point of, she keeps saying that she wants things to be over, but yet she keeps attacking me. She keeps attacking people. And I've yet to repay her for any of the things that she's done to me. I have not once returned that favor to her, not once. So if you want to be left alone, keep my name out your mouth, because I don't say anything about you, but I'm not going to be nice anymore moving forward. Leave me alone. Either drop the link, hit the link, or leave me alone. It's that simple. That's all I want. Leave me alone.
Let me ask the audience this, and maybe you can speak to this as well. Knockout. When you had been permitted and co-signed by MsMikko for months to do what you have been doing, you ain't changed your tone. You've been consistently doing what you've been doing. When she cried aloud for a man to step up, and then a man did, and then she stood behind that man 100%, and you became a content creator and did this commentary, and initially was doing it really in favor of her because of her cries, and then she turned around and told you to stop talking about her because you're only making matters worse. I want to know from the commenters, and I want to know from you all, what are your thoughts? So, of course, you here. What were your thoughts when she did that live and addressed you?
Well, CTV, I don't know if you recall, there was I don't know if it was one of my lives where I was talking about Andrea, but I think you were in the chat, right? And it's like something happened to where it was like kind of the same situation to where she thought that me and you were trying to like team up on her, gang up on her, you know, and
Well, can I address that real quick before you even get started,
oh,
so I can just get
of
it out of the
course.
way?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why this whole shit is so bizarre. But see, it's not really bizarre because I know what she got hidden away in her subconscious, because she knows if I didn't like her or if Larry didn't like her, she know exactly why we wouldn't. We haven't, as Breaking the Culture said, we haven't made any declaration about whether we like her or not, or don't like her or not. But because she did some things that she did, she hasn't dealt with those things after doing what she did, she's aware that it's very possible that Larry might not like me or CTV might not like me, but we've never addressed the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I'm a very diplomatic man, and so is Larry. So kept our eye and have kept our eye on the prize. Now, I had always been prepared and knew that the day would come. And maybe the day will officially be tonight, or maybe it won't. But that was another really interesting string of events that night when I was in your chat, and you had Andrea in, and you had wrenched Andrea, etc. And it became a whole thing. And I was in the chat, and I was speaking to you, and MsMikko was in some type of a manic state from the chat, saying that I don't CTV, like making it like y'all dragging me. CTV, why are you? I'm not even talking to you. How am I dragging you and I'm not even what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's how I remember
you. I'm addressing the commentary. I'm addressing what Knockout Media is saying and what he's playing, and she became interested in creating villains. And so when she went live after that, I was just like, I just continue on.
Yeah. So I essentially was kind of like, I was distraught because I was like, I don't even think Andrea had even really like commented at that point. I mean, she was commenting, but it's like, I don't think she was commenting like the way she does now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, just from her being in the chat and being mentioned, it brought up a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't know, you know, was there. And I think that's why, you know, you say you want to hear from the commenters, because I think that was you know, a big base of Mikko subscribers, obviously. So a lot of you are here, so I mean, it would make sense for y'all to kind of express what it was that y'all weren't happy about, per se, because like I said, I've never had anything against Mikko. So
if y'all love people, Conscious Crew members, tell people the truth. That's what we specialize in. Tell people the truth. Stop trying to be diplomatic and tell the truth. Tell the truth. The shit was crazy. The shit was hypocritical even. I said it. It was hypocritical.
I think it's hypocritical now because everyone's saying that, oh, MsMikko just wants everybody to keep her name out of their mouths. But in all fairness,
she didn't want nobody to keep her name out of her mouth when she was up here running her mouth about her situation, and when she begged and dry begged and dry begged and dry begged a real man to get involved to keep her name in his real man ass mouth.
The whole situation,
like the whole situation is, you don't get that level of control. You wanted people to be involved. Hold on, no, let's go back to the Genesis. Let's go all the way back to the Genesis. First of all, you got involved in a situation that you had the free will to not get involved with, because King Josh is a grown man and he could have handled his situation and relationship to Andrea on his own. If you, as his sister and friend, made an executive decision to windmill for him, that was your choice to do. You made a choice. When you make those type of choices on a platform like this, where social media is, you default to being in everybody's mouth. That's why I have to tell my platform, whatever hoe is talking, let a hoe talk. Whatever hoes are saying about Larry, whatever hoes are saying about me, let them talk. This is social media. I can't fight, and I'm not going to fight every motherfucker who is talking, because I'm on these streets making myself, my image, my likeness available to be talked about. So she made a choice to let the internet in to her business, which she made out of King Jive's situation with you and Larry and myself, which is perfectly fine. Because I made the same decision, even though I got vacuumed in, unlike her. The difference between me and Mikko is that she chose to get into this. I was dragged into this by King Jive.
That's the thing, but it wasn't when Mikko got involved, like as far as the drama aspect, there wasn't even any tension or drama really yet. Me and Jives were just becoming acquainted for real, and she just latched on to me and wouldn't leave me alone. Like she literally made video after video after video. The girl posted my daughter and then tried to manipulate and gaslight the situation like she didn't know. And when she realized, she took it down. Everybody seen the post. She knew that my daughter was in the pic. You can't. It wasn't like she was an infant and she was invisible. She was blatantly there. And at the end of the day, Mikko has caused herself to be in the middle of situations that she created. There never had to be a beef between Mikko and I because I didn't know her. And I kept telling you, Conscious, I don't know this woman. I don't even understand why she's attacking me. Like I kept saying that to you. I don't understand. I don't understand.
At
because
the same
I hadn't
time,
done anything to her.
at the same time, coming from my perspective, you know what I'm saying? I was coming in defense of MsMikko totally. I never have a situation with MsMikko before. I didn't have a history with anybody before. You know what I'm saying? I came out hard in defense of MsMikko. So where me and her fell out, I honestly, I just, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't tell you. And if I'm being honest, I think it was because, you know, me and Andrea have formed a relationship. I mean,
basically anybody that decides to take up for me, anybody that, even if they're not taking up for me, if somebody decides to say anything that does not cast me in the light of the narratives that she has spun about me, she has a problem with it. And that's not fair, because at the end of the day, Mikko does not know me from a can of paint. Literally, this is a 50-year-old woman attacking a 30-year-old woman who never did anything to her at all. I never did anything to Mikko Dooley unprovoked. And even with her provoking me, I still have been nothing but kind to that woman. She's mad because she feels that I sat on a platform when Darryl and them were doxing her. That had nothing to do with me. I'm not mad. And Kimberly, she wants to hold me to the same accountability as Kimberly. No, Kimberly actually actively stalked, harassed, and doxed me. I wasn't mad that Kimberly sat on the panel. I was mad that Kimberly actually participated in doing these things to me. I never did nothing to you, Mikko Dooley. I don't know shit about you because I don't really give a shit about you. But you can't seem to keep my name out of your mouth. And I'm beginning to think either A, you have a hard on for me, or B, you feel that my name brings you some type of clout for drama, or I don't know. But it's simple. Either hit the link tonight or leave me alone. It's that simple, because I never did nothing to you. And I'm calling you to the carpet. Since you wanted to call me to the carpet and I couldn't hit a link because you never dropped one, there's a link. Address me personally, because I never did nothing to you, shorty, ever. And I'm fed up. Like, I'm tired of being nice. I'm tired of everybody telling. If I had said some of the things that Mikko said about me, if I commented on her skin, I commented on her hair, if I commented on her family, if I commented on the Juanita Bynum story, if I had done any of those things to her, this whole chat would have been up my ass. But because she did it to me and I'm nobody, it's okay. No, it's not okay. And she doesn't get to play victim anymore. You know what you did. Stop playing victim.
Well, just to bring Andrea's comment into context, Crystal, who said, in all fairness, though, is it necessary to say you don't give a shit about her? What Andrea means, because I was dealing with Andrea for a whole year after all, like before this whole lawsuit began. Like, what she's talking about is that King Josh and MsMikko were irrelevant to her. During the time before this lawsuit took place, when Andrea was dealing with being dogged out weekly and daily on Fupa channel, he literally did a Andrea Garrison marathon.
Those videos are still up too.
Which are
All those videos about Andrea.
yeah, I had to. Y'all are still up. When he did that a marathon, you know what Andrea was doing? She was not giving a shit about a damn King Jives or a damn Mikko. She was fighting for her sanity and doing what she needed to do. Filing paperwork, pushing paperwork, seeing what her options were as it relates to the stalking and doxing and CPS calling and harassment and letter writing to her fiance's mother and the false flags on her fiance's business page. So when the conversation finally happened between Mikko and breaking the culture of silence that took place on Mikko's platform, and people were saying, and Andrea was saying, Mikko, I'm sorry. I did call you a bitch. I said you slapped the fuck out. I said I slapped the fuck out of you. You had my daughter in the picture. You did take the picture down because you said that you didn't know that she was in there. Fine. We had words. It was rah-rah. And that was it. That was it. And when people were saying that Andrea was pressed and all of this, and she needed to do that, I can tell you firsthand from somebody who was on the phone with Andrea daily and weekly for over a year and a half that King Jives and Mikko never even made up any part of our fucking conversation because it literally was that irrelevant. The only reason why you're now hearing even Andrea even speak about MsMikko is because MsMikko wanted to have a conversation that then made it the Mikko and Breaking the Culture of Silence show. Now it's the Breaking the Culture of Silence and MsMikko show. Breaking the Culture had no problem coming into this whole thing, even when, before the lawsuit came, I had a conversation with King Jives, I had a conversation with Mikko, I had a conversation with Breaking the Culture. I said, look, we all have the opportunity to stand in solidarity because of what Larry is doing. If there's any opportunity for us to deal with the head of the head of the snake, it would be now. Everybody was fine with that, including Breaking the Culture of Silence. I ain't got no problem doing that. And came on the scene and had no fucking problem. Didn't need to have a deep conversation with nobody. Didn't require an apology from nobody. Didn't need to clear shit up. Was okay with being focused and steadfast on the mission. But MsMikko, and it ain't no right or wrong in it, wanted to have a conversation with Andrea on her platform for everyone to witness with the intent, according to MsMikko, to just show everybody that two women who have fallen out, had words, did bad blood on each other, could come together, work through it, make amends, and put it aside. Now, Breaking the Culture did have some apprehension because Breaking the Culture had already said, I don't mind taking responsibility for what I did, but she is not going to get me to take responsibility for what is not true. I can't give her that. I won't give her that. So, where things were true from Andrea's perspective, she took that responsibility. But MsMikko wanted her to take responsibility for things that Andrea believes she didn't do or knows that she didn't do or say. Now, to Andrea's point, when that conversation happened and it crashed and burned, MsMikko went on forward to say, I can prove it. I got the receipts. And ironically, MsMikko showed a lot of receipts. She showed a lot of receipts on PPP Loan Crenshaw Macmillan. She showed a lot of receipts on Let Me See Your Menu. She showed a lot of receipts on FUPA, but we never saw the receipts as it relates to Andrea Garrison doxing her. Now, to Andrea's point earlier, at this point, when they have fallen out during the King Jives era, it was fair game because you get to play ball when it's beef. So to Andrea's point, she didn't have an obligation to keep Kimberly off MsMikko's ass when MsMikko was now also her open enemy. Just like I'm not going to have Kimberly's back if Darryl does her ass in. Just like I'm not going to have Roxanne the Mustache's back when Darryl do her motherfucking ass in. And I don't give a fuck what he do to either one of them worthless ass, bald mouth, bald head ass bitches. I'm not going to come to their motherfucking rescue. Because right now, those bitches are motherfucking wrong. And if he puts his foot off into either one of their asses, only thing I'm going to hit the laugh button to do is laugh and gawk at it. So to Andrea's point, stop acting dumb. Like it don't make sense for Andrea to not have done anything to help MsMikko at a time where MsMikko was also her open enemy. Because nobody is going to do that. Nobody's going to do that. Not none. Not nobody is going to do it. And I'm not even going to goddamn do it. How you feel about Knockout Media? Are you going to come to the aid of your enemy if they getting dogged out by your enemy?
Hell no. If I see Marcellus getting dogged out by somebody, I'm gonna join the other person most likely. But like my whole thing
but
is,
I also
bro,
did defend her though, Conscious. In fairness, I was defending her. I did publicly come out and say I did not think that what Darryl and them was doing to her was right. That no matter what she did to me, that I did not believe that she deserved to be stalked and harassed the way that he was doing her. I did do that for her multiple times when I never once even had to give her that amount of grace for what she was doing to me. And I've not done it back to her. No one has ever seen me get on live and just make videos about MsMikko. No one has ever seen me make a video about MsMikko. I made, 2 recent videos about MsMikko right before all of the drama ended. And they weren't even talking about her. It was just simply saying what she did to me. But there's never been a video of me just dragging MsMikko. It's never happened. I never did nothing to this woman. And I even defended her when I literally did not have to.
Well, see, I'm gonna say that you were done, Andrea, or you're good.
Yeah, and I won't be defending her no more. Moving forward, I have nothing to say about her, but I also don't. I'm never gonna defend her again because it's just not cool. Like, you claim to be about ministry, you claim to be about healing, you claim to be about forward thinking, you claim to be about women empowerment, but yet here I am, a young woman that's younger than you, who you're attacking constantly. You're not trying to heal with me, because if you were trying to heal with me, you wouldn't have made a live about me just the other day when I've said nothing disparaging about you. You wouldn't be trying to gaslight people against me if you were this woman of God and stuff. Like, I'm just like, and this is just me saying how I feel. When I spoke up at the prophetic college and I was talking about how women, the Black women in the church, were attacking me, and I didn't understand it when my story broke, because MsMikko did it too. She attacked my story and it wasn't okay. She's literally the example of why I don't go to church, why I don't like women in the church. And I'm just being real. No, I'm allowed to say, I'm tired of everybody telling me what I can't say. Everybody can say what they want about Andrea. Everybody can drag me. They can talk about my skin. They can talk about my hair. They can talk about my fiance. They can talk about my kids. They can completely disrespect me. They can call me whores. Jezebel, say that I lied on Victor. They can do all of these things. But when I say how I really feel, I'm in the wrong. No. She is one of the reasons why I don't mess with women in the church. This is an older Black woman that started to attack me and my light skinness for my story, something very similar to what she went through, for no reason. None. Other than the fact that there was a young lady that decided to befriend someone that she was close to. So what? That's no reason to attack me. That's no reason to come for me. She has had direct access to me. She could easily call me. She knows my number. She has my email. She could easily tell Conscious, hey, call Dre on 3-way. She could easily say, Jives, call Dre on 3-way. But instead, she chooses to attack me online, and it's not cool. Like, and I'm tired of it. Like, I did nothing to this woman.
Okay, to the commenter's point, this is not about her talking stuff. We have already cleared up that MsMikko and Andrea slung words at each other. Bitches were hurled. I'll whip your motherfucking asses were hurled. Those things happen. Nobody is acting like there was not words that takes place or that either one of them spoke about each other, because they did. What the crux of the situation with MsMikko, according to MsMikko, is Andrea doxed her. Andrea is responsible for shitterling Chandler and Fupa Marlena Gutter Snipe Anus Moore doxing her. The issue ain't the fact that she got called a bitch. The issue ain't that she said that Andrea said that she would mollywop her motherfucking ass all up inside the back of her head. The commentary is Andrea led the doxing march against her, weaponizing shitterling Chandler and down low ass Moore. And we have MsMikko in the building.
Here, let me finish this thought real quick, MsMikko.
right.
Everybody, before we continue on.
Okay.
So it's gonna feel like I'm taking about 2 or 3 steps back because multiple things have been addressed already. But what I wanted to say was, I don't know how many people were there to witness, but I tried to go on Darryl's live a couple of weeks ago, right? When I had clicked on his live, and y'all have seen the shit that I put out about Darryl and Marcellus, the whole Miss Parker, all that stuff, right? I still went on that live and I still had some tad bit of, hey, I know I did this to you guys. Y'all have said the things that y'all said about me, but I want to have a for real conversation with y'all about such and such. I feel like that's an adult thing to do. I don't necessarily find that, going back and forth and throwing blame or your fault, your fault.
Hold on. I'm knocked out. Hold on. Just pause that real quick. Sector TV.
Oh yeah.
Bro, hold on. Bro. Now I thought that me and you was gonna be able to stay neutral, because when I got the link for your platform, I hit the link for your platform and I graced your platform, and we had a nice dialogue and exchange and build on your platform. But since coming onto your platform, which I don't have no problem with you talking about the case, I don't have no problem with you doing what you need to do as a content creator, but you have started coming for me, and I don't talk about you, and I haven't insulted you. So I don't know what your problem became, but since you got a problem, you're not welcome in my chat. So mods, do what you do best and drop this bitch's body off in the river. Drop his motherfucking body off in the river. Goodbye, good night, and good fucking day.
Bye. Yeah. And
now continue on, I got.
Okay, so like I was just trying to say, I'm gonna sum it up so that way, MsMikko, you can say what both of y'all can say what you got to say. There's got to be some kind of mutual consensus that there's going to be a solution or some kind of resolve. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be okay, we leave it at, I feel like it's your fault. I feel like it's your fault, and then we can move the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I'm looking at it. Y'all are older than me, but that's just me. If I was handling this situation, that's how I would look at it. I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do. I'm not trying to invalidate nobody's feelings. That's just I think most everybody wants to see y'all work past this tension, And now we have all these other people coming in to witness this bullshit. And that was my whole thing, is like, it kind of turns into a spectacle more than it turns into us trying to work something out. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm done. I'm good.
Hey, Burkina. Hey, MsMikko, how you doing?
How you doing? Hey, okay, so first, I just want to say good evening. I am on your show.
Good evening.
I do.
You're welcome here, contrary to popular belief.
It's okay. I wanted to address a couple of things, and with you first. When I said where's the men at CTV, I wasn't talking about you. I specifically told Demario not to say anything at that time. And I did not want to come to you to fight my battles. But what I was talking about when I said that, because there were a lot of men watching Darryl at that time disrespect me as a woman. So when I made that comment, I didn't mean in no way to hurt your feelings. So I do want to apologize to that. Number two,
Apology accepted. And my feelings weren't hurt. It just was something that my brain knew. I was like, okay, well, she needs a different type of a man, apparently. But I heard you, so I understand.
The next thing I like to address is when you had a show on Patreon, I was actually at work and I had got a text message from a girlfriend of mine that is your Patreon member, and she loves you. And I have a couple of my friends, there's a lot of them, that actually are your Patreon members, not because of me, but because they love you. And I don't have any problems with that, but they said, Mikko, they're over there arguing about you. I said, where? She said, in Patreon. I wasn't a member. And I said, who? She said, Demario, Andrea, and CTV. I said, hold up. Demario didn't tell me he was going on a show talking about me. And I called him. And that's when you heard me on the phone. So I wasn't getting called while he was on the show. He really was on the show with you guys privately.
Yeah.
He didn't want me to know because he said it was going to be a shit show. But I did find out, and that's how I got in, and I was heated.
Yeah. And remember when I also was okay with you coming on, I told you to actually hit the official link because I felt like it was necessary for everybody to just get everything off the table and to just let the ugly rip.
Right. So I get that, and I just wanted to make sure you understand that was nowhere malice intent of me.
That never came up as an issue, MsMikko, between you and I. I never had no issues with you about that show. I woke when you called in and he put you on speakerphone. I said, "Give MsMikko, run MsMikko the link. Let her come up, and speak." And I told you to do you once you got on.
Right, but it was also wrong. It was ignorant, and I did state that to you. I said, "CTV, this is your platform." I was so heated. The words that were coming out of my mouth, there was not even no understanding, because I was very angry at how things happened over in my show. And we turned around and there was a healing show for you now. So there was a lot of, feelings going on there. And I'm being honest. And I couldn't believe that the same thing that I was trying to work out was not being worked out with me, but it was being facilitated by you. So I was heated that Andrea didn't want to talk to me. So that's where that situation led to. So I did apologize to you on the show, and I'll do it again.
But
and I said,
and you don't need to, because it was no. It was. I didn't need no apology. The show was meant to be a gauntlet experience because I knew that King Jives and Andrea had been holding in a lot. I knew how they both felt about each other in private. I knew what the non-political, unpolitical feelings were that they had toward each other. And I felt like, okay, we've all tried to do this kumbaya stuff on the surface. It's now getting hard to maintain it. So maybe we need to just rip the Band-Aid off and everybody just need to get gully as fuck and just tell each other they raw feelings about each other and then start the healing from there. Since we had to kind of start the healing with the strategy to stump on FUPA. So maybe now we just need to peel back and start in the actual distress.
Right.
I get it, and that's what I was working on. You remember, because I started it on my panel. And I'm the one that brought Harlow to his attention. You understand? Like, I was working through people that were actually being exiled through this process.
Yeah.
There was a method to my madness, and I was trying to get around to the core. And the core started right here with me and Andrea. So I hope I'm done with the CTV core, because I would just like to quickly.
Yes, me and you can, but I want me and you to have a conversation offline about some things.
Okay, I mean, I'm willing to wherever you want, if you want to do it online or whatever it is.
Okay,
I'm willing to talk about whatever it is.
Okay.
Just quickly, Andrea. Yes, there were some words that were exchanged between me and you. I do not care to go down the timeline. As a woman, I had no reason to disrespect you and call you out your name. I had no reason to get as angry with you, and I didn't know you. You could have said anything to DeMario, and I could have just walked past it as a lady. But as you saw back then, and I looked through my videos, I was going through a lot of trauma with dealing with females too. So my approach to you was always off, not because I disliked you, because of the color of your skin or because of who you are. I didn't know you. But there were a lot of things going on, and I do not care to bring up my brother Giles. As you could see, I'm not really bringing him up because he's not here. But I was being in a protective mode because of everything that was happening around him. When I got certain words back, and we don't have to go down the timeline of what was said because we've done that before. Right is right, wrong is wrong. It was just a thing of, you hit me, I hit you back. When it came to the doxing and you were on my panel and I said that you were responsible for it, you got angry and I says, Andrea, I'm going to take that word back. I should have never said that. But you didn't hear me. So I'm going to say it again. That was the wrong word to use. But in my mind, sweetie, and I'm being serious, and I'm not saying it as an asinine way or being facetious or anything, but you were on the panel with some people at that time that didn't like me, and you didn't like me at that time because I might have said something to you and it hurt you. And right now I can't do anything but apologize, because if I could take back calling you olive oil, if I could take back exchanging words or anything, if I could have had a chance to talk to you, you weren't my friend, you were DeMario's friend, so I never knew. But I would have never did it, because if I had knew, it would have caused all this. This would have never happened, Andrea. So I apologize. I don't want to go through and you said this and you said this, because that's tiring. And it triggers me. It makes me go back to that moment, and it's going to make you go back to that moment. And I don't have that type of time anymore. So if you can't accept my apology for real, I would really look forward to it. But again, I'm not going to stop breathing if you don't. But I need to move forward because this is over for me. Now, you guys can speak if you have any questions. I definitely will answer them.
So yes, I would actually like to address something that you actually said in your live. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. You had mentioned how I was holding Kimberly responsible for the things that she did to me. And you pretty much, and I could be wrong, you could tell me if I'm wrong, you pretty much said along the lines of, you're trying to hold Kimberly responsible for what she did. I'm holding you accountable the same way that you're holding Kimberly accountable because you were a part of doxing me. So first, I want to say yet again, which I have said so many times, I have sent the evidence to Zamario. I have sent the evidence to your phone. Maybe you have me blocked so you didn't see it. I also sent it to Conscious and I sent it to Knockout. And I made it very clear that I never doxed you, actually. I actually don't know anything personal about you because I've never looked into you. Only thing I know about you are the things that have already been put online that people have discussed. But I've personally never, ever looked into you. I don't know anything about you, what you do, how you do it, outside of what everyone has made known. I have proven that I never even would have had to dox you because everybody was doxing you behind the scenes anyway. Now, you say that you were upset because I sat on a panel with people that were doxing you. And I can say, yes, they were doxing you behind the scenes. Yes, I was sitting on the panel when they did it, as far as I was cool with these people as they were doing these things to you. Yes. And no, I did not come to you and tell you what they were doing like I did with Larry, because I didn't feel that you deserved it. Because at the end of the day, I did nothing to you, Mikko, ever. And when you began to come for me, and I would tell Demario, like, I don't understand why she's coming at me like this. Like, what's going on? Like, why does she feel this way? Like, why is she saying my story's a lie? Why is she talking about my kids online? Why is she talking about me being a foster kid, saying I have mental issues, saying I lied about Victor? Like, why is she doing these things? Like, I don't know this woman. You telling me that this woman's a minister? Like, I'm confused. I just find it really ironic that you were doing these things to me, but then you wanted me to defend you to these people and tell these people to stop doing these things to you. Like, it's, to me, it's just ironic because I'm not trying to hold Kimberly responsible for sitting on a panel or for sitting there while people were doxing me. I'm holding Kimberly responsible because Kimberly personally did these things to me, because Kimberly personally doxed me, personally called CPS on me, personally was messing with my children, personally was messing with my fiance. I did none of that to you, Mikko. And even after you kept going and kept going, I did try to keep speaking out and positivity publicly. I would try my best to be like, you know, Mikko didn't deserve, you know, the things that was being done to her. It's not okay. You know what? I support her, even though you were coming for me. Now you say, you know, you apologize for those things, and I accept your apology for that. Thank you. But I want you to understand why I have been responding the way that I have. And even yesterday, for you to make a live about me, or maybe not about me, but mention me in a disparaging way and try to come for me, I felt like it was wrong, especially because recently when your name has been brought up in the chat, which CTV is privy to because he was in a few of those chats, I actually defended you. Kimberly tried to accuse you of doing things to me that you actually didn't do to me. And I actually said, listen, I don't get along with Mikko, but you're not going to say she did something to me that she didn't do. And I actually put it in the video that's on my channel right now, where I actually defended you in the video. And I said, listen, I don't get along with her, but she didn't do this and she didn't do that, and you're not going to blame her for that. So I just want you to know, personally, I never had no beef with you, Mikko. I didn't know you. My beef was you were bothering me and messing with me, and you say that you're older than me and that you could teach me so much, but yet you've done nothing but teach me hate, and for no reason. Like, I get that you were being protective of DeMario, but that was no reason to give me the barrage of attacks that you gave me, especially when I didn't reciprocate.
I get it. I totally get it. I totally get your stance and why you responded the way you did. And again, I apologize for my behavior. I do have reasons why I did what I did, but that would do anything but make an argument. And the reason being is because you're standing on one side of the room and I'm standing on another side. Throughout life, I learned to move around in the room. Sometimes when I look in another person's perspective and stand in their shoes, I see the way that they see things. Now that I allowed you to speak without interrupting you, I understand what you felt. But I hope you understand what I felt and why I thought I was being attacked by you. But again, I don't have anything against you. Andrea, I don't know you. And that's the message I gave you when I did make a comment on your YouTube page. I was trying to let you know that you had no reason to send a threat to me. I don't know you. So I'm sorry that I came off brash and I came off rude and strong. I'm aggressive just like you are. You're from New York. You're from the Bronx. I'm from Chicago. So we grow apart. We went through things. So the way we talk is a little bit more aggressive than what people understand, and I get it. So I understand that you had a right to respond the way you needed to. You're a woman just like I'm a woman. You're not going to allow a woman to call you a bitch. You're not going to allow a woman to talk to you and tell you about how you raise your kids. I get it. But in this social media life over here, when it was called beef, what we do is we talk about each other. So I'm sorry that I said these things and they hurt you and you had to go to bed at night with this. I did not post your child. I had to post what I posted underneath your comment, and I didn't know it was your child. When Marcellus called me, I took it down, and you know it, because I don't do that about children. So however the communication got lost, I can't do nothing but apologize for what you felt. And I don't want to argue with you anymore. I don't know you to argue with you, and I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
I just want to say that certain parts of what y'all doing here tonight is almost like seriously bringing me to fucking tears. So, yeah.
I mean, would y'all could you, MsMikko and Andrea, could y'all both agree on Darryl being the common denominator and into why even all the shit between y'all had happened?
No, because it didn't start with Darryl.
So
Granted, let me
I
clean
can
my
agree. I
statement
can
up.
agree with Andrea.
Let me clean my statement up. I'll say this: is Darryl more problematic, and has he always been problematic, and has he always been causing seeds of discord? Yes. But is Darryl the root of me and Miko's issues? No. That's no. Actually, I can't even say me and Miko's issues, because I genuinely never had any issue with Miko. I didn't know her. My issue was I just didn't understand why she was coming at me the way she was coming at me, which she just explained. She was coming at me like this because she's protective of Jives, and she felt that for whatever reason I had ill intentions or whatever. She wasn't comfortable with me and Jives being cool in so many sense for her own reasons, within her being the protective big sister.
But let me say this: Darryl instigated. He worked off of that energy.
Darryl had nothing to do with me and Miko's.
And I can agree with it. I can agree with Andrea. I can agree with Andrea there. That's why I was trying to explain to everybody that this thing started before Darryl knockout. This is a very long story.
Darryl doesn't like Miko, from his own words, because he felt that Miko took Jives from him. That's Darryl's quarrel with her. It has nothing to do with me, has nothing to do with Conscious, has nothing to do with Larry. His quarrel with her is because he felt that Miko took his best friend from him. That's it. That's literally his only beef with Miko.
Yes, and that was his beef. That was his serious beef. And I did, to prove that, I did a parody, and that was disrespect to him too, on the beginning of his shows. In the first few videos, he was in his desk and he was playing TD Jakes, and he was talking to DeMario. And DeMario didn't even notice him. DeMario didn't know he only had 13 subscribers. And I'm the one that noticed Darryl. It was me. And Darryl was writing him a letter. He wrote him an open letter to King Jives, and I caught it. And he was talking to him and reading TD Jakes. He said, you have 3 different type of friends: constituents and comrades and something else. And I made a parody of it because he was always talking to DeMario, trying to warn him about something. And I brought him to DeMario, and we brought him on. And one night, DeMario told him, everybody go subscribe to Darryl. And one night, Darryl had 2.3, that's 2,300 subscribers in one night.
Right.
So Andrea is correct.
Okay. So as far as it stands now, you would say whatever it was between y'all, it's gone. It's gone. Yeah, whatever the case.
Because now it's actually time for you and MsMikko to address y'all situation.
Yeah. So, Miko, you know I didn't have any problem with you. Now, as far as I understand it, you know, Andrea had came in my chat, and then I guess people had reported it to you, right?
No.
Okay, so what?
I'm telling you, I was at work. I was scrolled up, and
No. I'm saying we're talking about before. This is not just recently. We're talking about before.
When did I come in your chat?
I think you're talking about at that time, like what, a month and a half ago, and I was also in the stream, and you had went live after he.
It was literally our last altercation, Miko. You were in the chat, and you came in the chat, and you were like, "Why are you guys talking about me?" And then we went.
That's when everybody was talking about, oh, Miko told everybody to unsubscribe from you and da da da.
I actually addressed why I wasn't fooling, because I think you were asking some questions. Okay, so the number one reason, Knockout, I unsubscribed publicly is because Darryl said that I paid you. And when you tried your best as a gentleman to go on the panel to talk to him, you were getting you weren't getting fair treatment. And then I started to see your conversation with commenters start to change, you know. So I didn't want you to be involved because of my heat. It was getting a little too serious. So what Consciouztv said to me when he said on his video was, he didn't want you to be involved. This is too dangerous. And when that happened, it made me think about what CTV just said. And I said, damn, I got this boy in some shit. Because you came to me and said, I just want to defend you. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know where you came from. I didn't tell you to make no videos or anything. And Darryl had that in his mind. So I wanted to remove myself from you. And I made a video, and I don't think you remember, but I said, knock out if you could, stop making videos. But if you do, if you continue, you can, because you can comment on things. But I never told nobody to unsubscribe to you. I still have all my videos. So I never told no one to unsubscribe to you. My friends are still your subscribers. They love you. Like a whole lot of my subscribers are CTV followers. A whole lot of my subscribers are DeMario's. Y'all got to remember, I've been on social media for a very long time. So I have collected a lot of people throughout a lot of incidents I've had throughout this thing. And when it came to the church world, when I got with Juanita Bynum, I got a lot of church followers. And they combined with Larry too. So I've been in this game, and the names have changed throughout the years. So I don't never play the game of telling people to unsubscribe to folk. I don't do that. I fight straight up.
I think the major thing between me and you was probably the subscribers for sure, because I guess for a minute it was more so not me and you talking, and it was more so people running a story, just kind of like how we saw tonight. You know what I'm saying? In your chat there's somebody telling you one thing, and then there's another. But CTV also brought up a good point in him saying that Mikko, I wouldn't say anything disparaging about you, or talking about you publicly to anybody. Even in private I wouldn't say it, but it's like I had came out in defense of you, and then it seems like when Breaking the Culture I came on the scene, it's like after that it just kind of like turned into this feud, I guess. And I never wanted to have that towards you, because you're the person I came out defending. So it's like it doesn't make any sense for me to want any tension with you, right? So I never had a problem. I just feel like it was really a miscommunication that we never talked about.
No, you're right. So one thing I have done in this is called social media etiquette. I've been around YouTube for a while, so one thing that we don't do as content creators is step on people's platforms and act a fucking fool. And when me and Andrea couldn't talk at this time, and she became part of uh, your story because you were going to get around to her anyway, you were commenting on the stories. When she was starting to tell her timeline, I think that was something that people that were there and me witness, we kind of didn't agree. And that's where we get into arguments. And I don't like to bring up timelines. And it's going to hurt me, and it's going to hurt Andrea, because Andrea is standing on her side of the room, and she has her perspective, and she has that right. And I'm also standing on another side. However, you're doing a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like you're the outside, and you're just looking at everything, and your questions are great. I love them, but this right here, it wasn't to do on your panel. It wasn't to do on your show. It wasn't for me to be really acting the ass in the comment sections and going back and forth with it. It would have never went anywhere, and it would have been shit show. You know what I'm saying? So I did it on my brother's show. I did it on my show. We did it on CTV show. It's like, come on, this is the baby. That's how I think. I don't have teams of people. A lot of people question me and DeMario's relationship and think that I control him or he controls me. That's not that. He's a grown man, and some things we straight up about. It's right. It's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And one thing we share as God, and we talk about it, and we pray about a lot of things together. So I never wanted to come over there to hurt you growing with my attitude. So I had to start to back out of the whole situation, not just because of you, because for my mental health, for my sanity, for me to be running my businesses and taking care of my kids. I couldn't do it all when the pandemic rose and we had to go back to work and take care of things. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, between me and you, Miko, I mean, there's a lot more behind the scenes that people don't know, and a lot of more conversations that people aren't gonna know. But I've always been praying for you, Miss Miko, since the day I made my first video about you, even before then, and I continue to do that, and I've never had any bad blood towards you. Just like I've never had any bad blood towards Andrea or Conscious or anybody. Simply just offering my commentary, and I'm trying to help in whatever way I can, even if it's like the slightest way, right? So I'm not I'm not in the business of like trying to beef with anybody, especially not you. You know what I'm saying? Like if I go back into my catalog 4 months ago, my videos are about you. You know what I'm saying? So I can't take that back. I'm not gonna go and delete those videos. It's just not. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I
You know?
never asked you to do that. I think you guys kind of misconstrued what my message was yesterday. It wasn't that you or anybody were talking about me. And the video I made, Andrea, the video, I wasn't talking about you. I was apologizing to you. I was triggered, and God showed me, like I said today in my video, that God was asking me, what is it about this that's triggering you? What is it that you need to work on? Is what the Spirit was telling me. And I realized there was some work I needed to do, and I did that work. So I'm really at peace now. There's no more fighting. I'm talking about that when I say zero on no sides, there's no more fighting.
No,
I'm
and
over
I
it.
mean, y'all, between you and Andrea, y'all are both two successful, beautiful women, and y'all have made an impact on people so much, like just in this space alone, that people are inspired when they look at y'all. That's why it would be so disheartening when it's like it would come down to like, okay, pick a side, or this person is mad at this person, so now you have to choose. It's like, I would rather see y'all build together. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all can't do that, that's cool. But at the same time, like, it doesn't make any sense why we all can't be on the panel together, or why people can't work together or whatever. I just feel like, all this shit was just giving fuel to somebody else who was just using it to make content. You know what I mean? And more people are going to try to do that shit. It's kind of like out of our hands. But I mean, as far as it goes right now, I feel like this is perfect, at least coming from my perspective.
Yeah, it's perfect when Miko is not acting like a fool. I was out there foaming at the fucking mouth and y'all didn't say shit, but it's okay. If y'all was really my friend, when I look at this in retrospect, it was really unnecessary. And I really don't mean no harm. Like, this is not my
And guess
style.
what, Miss Miko?
Yeah.
Months ago, when me, you, Breaking the Culture, and Jives had that 4-way over on his platform, and I had a Iyanla moment with you and Jives. The reason why I was telling y'all to calm down and everything was going to be okay, and I said it also behind the scenes, is because just like what y'all did, King Jives eventually left, got his motherfucking paper up and his views up and his subscriber count up, and you went on to build your motherfucking salon nation. That was always ahead. That's why I was saying, y'all, like,
My schools. I got to
your
throw that
whole
out there. I'm a little personal with that.
your school. Well, shit. That's why I said nation, honey. It's a whole empire. It's a whole kingdom, because the victory was already here. It was already here. It was always going to be okay. It was always going to work out. Everything was already for us. We just had to see into the future what God already had in the future, instead of being completely present in the moment.
Yes.
So I so going forward, because when you spoke about and mentioned trauma earlier on, and you said, this thing has been heavy, and it has, because I know what Andrea has gone through. I know how I have felt at times. I know, like, Larry had to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get the law to be the law. And I've also heard your story and your experience with Knockout Media being the type of commentator he is, where he likes to kind of like show the crime scene. He likes to show show the nightmare to keep folk aware of what it is. I can understand how that can be traumatizing to look at, because I have to mute Knockout Media when he presses play. Like I have to mute it because I don't want to hear it. And I also don't try to look at my screen. I try to just, just stay with him, because I'm very sensitive to energy. So when I say I'm somebody who doesn't watch, I don't watch those people. And I have to be very selective about what I tune into, because like everybody else, I have a fucking ego, and there are things that I'm willing to go to jail over as well. So I have to protect my energy and protect myself. But going forward, what can better serve you? I mean, you are here, and we all are here, and Knockout is here. Do you want to say that you would rather the commentary and the literal things that Darryl has said not to be ran again as it relates to you?
No. I don't want you guys to get it misconstrued. I want everybody to do whatever it is they did. I thought when I started, I tried to build how I got triggered. It was a sequence of things. And just listen to people's commentary, and I just told you some things that was said, and yours and others, and what people were saying in the comments. And then I saw the guns. It started with the phony prop gun. Okay. I know CTV, I know it was, you are funny. So I had to listen to it myself, but I know a real gun when I see it. I called it from the beginning. You understand? Like, I had to play that back in my head over and over. And I'm from Chicago, and I'm not saying that to say it to be bad. And we have real people out here that's like literally killing and walking up to people every day, blowing brains back. So I have trauma. It's called PTSD. And when I saw them guns and I heard the way he was talking to me at this time, it triggered me. And I was literally getting pumped, and people were using it as entertainment, but that thing was finna go live. So I had to start catching myself, because some people really think it's YouTube beef, and I was up here taking it serious, finna have a heart attack. You understand? Hollering and screaming, not hearing nobody. I'm like a Mack truck. So I had to check myself when I saw it, and I had to say, Mikko, you got to get a grip of this. So what do you need to do? And I had to do my work. So my work is done. So I don't need anybody to stop doing what they're doing. I'm over it. I'm serious. And anything I have to work out is that I have to make solutions for myself so I won't get triggered. So if Knockout decides that he want to talk about whatever he needs to talk about, I'll see that he's talking about something, and I won't watch it. You understand? Like that. And I was ready for it. Like, wait a minute, hold on. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I could
But
see him
I
feeling
mean,
bad.
you are entitled, though, just like breaking the culture, or anybody is entitled to tell me, hey, I don't feel comfortable with that being shown. You're definitely allowed to tell me that, and I can respect that for sure. So
No, because everybody look, let me tell you something what I also know. Just because of my feelings in this world, in social media, is still business. And I don't care if we crack jokes about you doing this to grow your channel. Yeah, you do it. I tell my students this in social media class. I said, it's a man that films his cats. Now, he died, and he had a lot of subscribers on YouTube. He just died in the summer. Millions. And all he was doing was filming his cat. It's Asians that put nuts and berries together that do not work. And they got 10 million subscribers, and they talk about concoctions all day. Everybody has a method to get an extra source of income, and everybody reserves the right. So if we built a sector to gag and signify and be the best at that shit. If we made a sector for you to comment and do news on what's happening in the Black community, then do that and be the best at it. Everybody got a corner. There's enough money out here for everybody. Me, I use social media to build my business. I've been doing that for years, and that's all I do because of the things I've done in my past. Who am I? I'm not your pastor, your preacher, or your prophet, but I do believe. And nobody could take that from me. So I use my corner for something else. So that's why I was so affected. Like, damn. Now I got to explain all this shit to millions of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And I was mad at my business. My people know me. I don't hide the truth, you know. So do I want to keep going through that? That's not gonna do nothing but hurt me. So I can't play with that no more. You
So
know?
what can we expect from you then? Are you walking away from this chapter completely, or are you
Yeah, I don't have no beef with nobody. You know,
even the other side
absolutely. I have no
over
beef.
there?
I have no beef with nobody no more. Because like I said from the beginning, I wasn't gonna sue Darryl. I didn't need to. It was important for Larry to do it, but that's his right. Everybody has their own right to take care of their business the way they need to. I agree that if somebody came and tried to show harm to me, and I said that 1,000 times in my videos, and said it had nothing to do with Larry's name, but I don't have. I had to come to the conclusion of being forgiven. I wanted God to I want to manifest
Mm.
bigger things. In order for that to happen, my vessel has to be clean. So I have to get rid of the sorrow is following me because I haven't forgiven people. I haven't told people I apologize. You know I did wrong. The spirit is working me. So
Mhm.
I have to do my work because I have other things to do. So this little fiasco that I went through, man, Joe, I did just as wrong. I cursed folk out. Somebody jabbed me, I jabbed them back. Everybody can laugh about everything I did, man. I done went around the world and back.
Mhm.
I tried to make people laugh. We cried together and everything to explain my life. I put my whole life on the internet. I shared things about myself that nobody would be willing to get up here as a woman and do by themselves
Mhm.
to try to help somebody else to get through something in the midst of my pain that drained me. And the so-called friends that I thought I had, they don't call. They watch you drain off, you know, and nobody checking for you. I got few true blue friends that do that every day.
Baby, that was a wide awakening, honey. We all got to see
Who's who?
who's who. Cause
Who's
when it got
who?
rough, it was yeah, only the realists, only the
Only the realest
realists.
survived.
Let me tell you one of the most impactful and inspiring things that I witnessed regarding you and what transpired was between you and your baby father's ex, and the way that the approach you took to that and the way you transmuted that, because there was a lot of unresolved there. There
Mhm.
was a lot of things that had been unclear, and the way that you got inside of yourself, and the end result of that being you and her being able to deal with some things
Mhm.
as a result of somebody else who was trying to weaponize that situation. That was literally just an act of goddessness. That was an act of female divinity.
Thank
And I
you.
was like, wow.
But she's a powerful woman too. She's a strong spirited young lady. And we come from the same parts, you know, like these bricks. And we've had some connections, you know, like we really know each other. So that was more easier to approach to fix than people that you don't know.
Hmm.
You know, you understand what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
you're apprehensive. People trick you on the internet. They tell you they one person. They'll call you. They start with the Cash App or I got something for you, and then they want to talk to you. Now they talking to you every day. Then they somebody else. I'll never forget. Mario gonna kill me. What is follow? Had told him for a whole 2 years her name was somebody, Sonia or something. That motherfucker woke up one year and said her name was that wasn't her name. Her name was Christine or some shit.
Oh.
You understand? And blocked him. He was like, "What the fuck?" So people, you will say
Crazy.
something and it would trigger them, and the
Mhm.
follower that you grew to love, they block you. Now they're ghosts. You don't even
Yep.
find them no more. They don't even. So I've been in social media where you fall in love with your followers because they become your friends and things, and they cry with you and then they just drop you. So you learn a lot when you work social media. So that's why I'm at this part now where like, no, I don't want to beef with nobody.
Mm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want no beef. I don't want that
Listen.
person's following to come and try to be a different person to me and be Sonia one day and then Christine the next. You know
Christina
what I'm
next.
saying? And then trying to find out where you at and what
Mhm.
you're doing, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and then the commenters, the trolls, we call them trolls, but then it gets weird. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt none of the people y'all love. You know what I'm saying? You love CTV, I love CTV too. I'm not trying to hurt
Mhm.
nobody. You love Knockout, I love them too. You love
Mhm.
Andrea, I love it too. I don't want to keep going through this because
Yeah.
if people are going to make a scene and get on social media, they're making a stance. They're saying, "Hey, I'm elbowing up in this motherfucker, and it's time for me to take care of my business. I got something I got to do. I'm not trying to get in the way of nobody getting no bag."
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm in the same spirit, and the world is upside fucking down right now. The devil is on the prowl and seeking every bit of everybody who he can devour. And I was just telling my nigga last night, I said, I'm old enough to only want peace at this point. It was
Mhm.
a lot of things I used to want,
Yeah,
but I'm old enough to only want a piece of their mind. And if I get into something, that's what got to be the end goal. That's what I got to be going after every single day, because the the enemy is rampant, and I just feel like the enemy being rampant in the world is making me more conscious about time and making me really focus on what I really want to give, and what I who I want to be and who I want to be in people's lives. And I want to cherish every bit of good that I'm able to, because there is so much going on and there's so many more things going on in other people's lives. And so we all have a reason to count our blessings every day, because we don't even have to have the blessings that we're counting as ones
man,
that we can count
man,
for ourselves.
man.
So when I thought about the way I wanted to approach this conversation, that's why I opened it up and said, look, this is not a versus battle,
Mm,
because I would actually love to talk to MsMikko, but I don't want to run MsMikko down for what I feel are things that she feels.
mhm.
I want her to come to me as she has been able to. And the rest of that stuff is just stuff that me and you can talk about elsewhere
Yeah,
in private, etc.
yeah, you definitely have my number. I don't have a problem, but
Yeah.
I just want to I want to move forward. You
Yes.
know, it is the end of the year, so last of my quarter. I'm going into a new quarter in business. I have new things. I cannot focus. And one thing I don't want on my conscience, I don't know if it works for you, but sometimes even when I curse people out, they're on my mind. And so it hits me a little different. When I was on the streets, it didn't hit me like that. It was what I said. If I said fuck you, it meant fuck you. But now
Mhm.
when I say fuck you, it'd be like the TikTok. Why did you say that? Take that down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
my conscience is strong. And
Yeah.
I don't have time to hurt somebody because I know what it feels like for somebody to hurt me. So I don't want to be responsible for people's pain no more.
Yeah. Well, you have a family here, and I love you, and I have immense respect for you, and I want you to be able to ask me for what you need. I want you to come to me if you ever need anything emotionally, physically, spiritually. Um, because I was so caught up in the beginning of all of this, kind of stepping in and commentating and covering the legalities of things that relates to Larry. And then when I started hearing you saying, "Where are the men? Where are the men? Where are the men? Where are the men?" I distinctively making a note to myself that I'm gonna start mentioning Miko more as well. I mean, yeah, mentioning MsMikko more as well, and
No.
calling out some of these situations and dragging these niggas on behalf of that. Even up till recently, when a very special needs person got dragged who used to be with them. And I brought up the fact that, at that time they tried to make a situation out of you and D-Car having some lighthearted fun about some things. And now look at them. They done crucified the man 4 times over and then some. And I said, ain't that about a bitch? I said, should we return the favor class and do to them what they attempted to do when they tried to paint a gruesome narrative of MsMikko? Should we get t-shirts? Should we
No, no,
contact the special needs organizations? And should
no.
we, really make a thing out of this? Because ain't this what they did to baby mother? Ain't this what they did to our baby mother?
No. Well, I can't say anything, but you guys, D-Card is a beast. And it comes from me being on social media. I have had the glory to meet a lot of very powerful women. And because of who she is, she can't reveal. So she don't do anything but have people in her studios that make little things like masks. She doesn't want it re-detailed. That's why one of the masks came out looking like Mookie for real. Like she's very, very, a very, very important woman. And I really appreciate her. So we did do it because we like to laugh. And D-Car is a good friend of mine. And she talks to me to keep me up spirited. There's many nights that I cry and she's right there. And she's always joking to make me laugh. And she's logic. So I thank God for meeting some of the women that I've met on here. I've met some really powerful. When I say CTV, I'm serious. You have some serious judges, attorneys, women that are running Netflix. You have some real women on your live and you don't even know. And I love some of these women that God has put in my life. And they have helped me through this.
Yeah. It's a story to tell. It's
Yeah,
a bestseller. It's a
yeah,
bestseller.
yeah. So I learned a lot through this for myself to
Yeah.
grow. And
Yeah.
and because of that, I can't say I'm growing and then I'm not walking it. I can't say forgive me and then I keep doing it. You understand? Like it's got to be an end to it. I can't tell Andrea I'm sorry, and then I'm going to keep mentioning the situation, trying to prove my point to her. That would never. That's not apologizing. That's not really moving forward. That's being smart and weird at the same time. Like, why are you? I thought you said we was over it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that you two are a lot like me, and you like to, even if you aren't successful at it, just like I'm not always successful at it, but I'm always going to make the attempt to get to the root. I like to get in it. I want to get to the bone marrow of
Yeah.
it. I want to really reach in as deep down and really deal with the foundation of a thing. And for people like me and you, sometimes it can be hard to settle for what's left
Yeah.
beyond that.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that you and Andrea are able to just come to a agreement and understand that we stand on to different sides of the room, and I'm on west, you on east, and at the end of the day, we live to tell God's story about our survival.
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely. So it's everybody has their own story though, their own perspective. So I know Andrea did chime out, but if you're listening, I don't know what happened, but I do want to say
she had wished you happy Merry Christmas. While everybody was talking, she was falling asleep because she got to get up and travel early in the morning. But she did in the chat wish you happy Merry Christmas and holidays to you and your family. And she's looking to see some amazing things on your horizon in the future.
Yes, absolutely. And the same for you, CTV. Congratulations. And
Thank you.
KLM, I really appreciate you.
Thank
And you
you.
did nothing wrong. And it was about my trigger. So this is why I decided to come on tonight.
I am so freaking glad you did, because I was like, it's the end of the year. And I said, somebody over there is trying to instigate, claiming we dragging you. And I was just like, but the reason I was telling a knockout, calm down. I got some faith in MsMikko's grown woman. I don't think she'll fall for that. And I think she knows that she can hit the link. And you proved me right.
Oh, well, I do want to say real quick, I'm sorry. I heard a lot of people say, hey, MsMikko. Hey, Auntie Trisha. I just want to say to all of those that said they love me, I love you too. Hey to everybody if I didn't speak to you. And thank you again, CTV, for allowing me to come in on your live.
Thank you so much, MsMikko. I really appreciate you. I will give you a call soon. And we could set a time up to talk and everything. And I'm very proud of you. And thank you for blessing us tonight.
All right. Thank you. Seriously. And you guys, you too, Knockout. You guys be blessed.
All right. Good night. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Knockout Media.
Man. Did that go as planned or
what? How are you feeling?
I mean, I don't know why I feel like there's a weight lifted off my shoulder, but there is for sure.
I don't think that could have been more seamless and divine and amazing and full freaking circle. And I want to say this, when I was over in your stream, and I understand we all has been through a lot, and there are a lot of people who did not want to see tonight happen because they just thought that history would repeat itself. And this is why you have to keep taking a chance being a believer. You got to believe that things can be better, because when you don't, we're all going to miss these type of manifestations. And I'm a believer. I'm a believer in betterment. I'm a believer in healing. I'm a believer. And I know how we are as humans. I know that we have to go through and through and through and by again sometime before it can finally be okay. And I'm the kind of person who I don't mind rolling that dice again and again and again, even if we got to be here 77 more times before it could be okay. Because if we ain't doing that, I really don't know what we're doing. So I'm glad I pushed forward. I was going to let our supporters kind of talk me out of it. I was like, well, damn, I don't want it to be a shit show, even though that wouldn't be the intention. But the cornrow Holy Ghost just kept saying, nigga, do what I tell you to do. Do what I told you to do, nigga. So I pushed through. I pushed through, and we here. But yeah, that's an amazing.
I think it's a testament to what you said earlier, is the energy. You do bring a kind of like this manifestation to where it's like, like you said in your mind, you said it's gonna be all right, and look how it turned out. So I believe
Peter,
in
have a little faith, Peter. Why didn't you believe, Peter?
Right. Yes. And look, that's funny. Somebody said KOM is a Kendall Peacock on L. That's hilarious, man.
Well, we ain't gonna treat our knockout like Larry didn't be treating Kendall. That's for damn sure, baby. We go treat her better than that.
That's crazy. But man, we need to do this more often.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
You said, oh, for sure.
Maybe hell, maybe we can get the other one who we had to dump off in the river tonight. Maybe we can. I mean, I got.
Well, let me actually talk to you about that. So, the reason I asked you the question I asked you on my live
Mhm.
stream, as it pertains to him, is you know, I don't know if you seen. I had told him at one point, I was like, he wants you and Larry to address him so bad. You know, that's why I think he says all of the shock jock provoking bullshit that he says. But
And see, I didn't know that because I literally have not
I
watched him
figured.
since I was on his platform.
I had figured.
Yeah,
I
I haven't
thought
seen that
nobody really
thing.
had saw, but
Yeah.
it's like he started going real hard, you know, on
Mhm.
you and Larry as far as the commentary. And I'm
Mhm.
sure you saw in my live what he was said in his last live when he addressed me. So I was just, I said on my live tonight, I was like, you know what? It's more so of a warning that I'm trying to give you. It's not so much that I'm trying to like go back and forth and beef with somebody,
Mhm.
but it's like I feel like, okay, if you keep going, then you're just gonna be Darryl number 2. And really he is, because it's, you know, he is Darryl number 2 or whatever.
Right.
So it's like, shit, go ahead, man. But I try to tell you, you know.
So the thing about it is, um, the Darryl number 1, aka Fupa Moore, uh, you know, here's the thing. Even Mr. Moore sold himself very short. I mean, if you really look at this in the grand scheme of things, this man spent 2 years consistently, multiple times a day, speaking about one man for sure, 24 hours out of a day for 2 years, and still managed to only be able to drop videos that on averaged out to just a few thousand views.
Mhm.
And then maybe every now and again, if the narrative was super salacious and he could pay the bots to view the videos, could maybe get a video on 19-20K and still ended up with a subscriber count that he had to private because people were only willing to click and view, but nobody wanted to stick around long term. So
Mhm.
if that's what other people look at, and that's enough for some people, is maybe 1,000 views on a video and maybe a few thousand subscribers, and you're willing to attempt to harm someone as a result of trying to have something so little for your fucking self. I mean, that's
It's
really
sad.
embarrassing and it's pathetic, and it's just, I mean, I honestly, it breaks my heart for those level of pathetic individuals. It breaks my heart. And the other thing that people have to remember is that because we got out here as media behind this thing and we killed this thing to this level, that there is nothing left to pick up. It's never going to get off the ground the way that it got off the ground the first time. It's been so ran over. It's been so blasted. It's been so put into perspective. It's been so analyzed, broken down, tore down that oh that it can't even be what it was. So it'll never even be what Fupa put in the effort for it to be. And look at how long it took for him to be it. And then look at the fact that he lost in all that he worked for. And now your whole
Right.
channel got to be no videos. Your
None.
whole channel your whole platform got to be, and you in contempt of court. So if somebody even tried to want to call themselves being a mimic serial killer or being a mock serial killer and trying to repeat events, they will never be the level of events that it was this time. It'll never be
Mm.
this ever again. Ever. It's
Mhm.
done. It's done.
Right. So there is no gaining clout off this situation. There is no.
Nah, buddy.
Yeah.
All you can
That's
do is
not.
borrow over his itty bitty witty teeny tiny titty witty uh followers. I mean, all you
14
can do is,
subscribers.
yeah, I mean that's all you could do. It's nothing to gain. All he could do is gain whatever residually is left out of Fupa's following. But there's no clout in the case anymore. The case is done.
It's
Like,
done.
yeah,
Yeah.
the case is done. I mean, so the only interest now is us taking care of the other three people. You know,
Right.
there is no substance to the accusers. They didn't want to come forward. They made that known. They remained as avatars. They didn't want to be seen. They didn't want to be burdened by trying to make their lies true and really build a case because they didn't have none to begin with. They're not coming forward. They're not going to do another interview. There's just nothing, you know. It'll just be an echo chamber for anybody who just wants to continue to try to pick up a story. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it.
Man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, all right, man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and head off
Okay.
to bed. But
Well, thank you for being here. And you do need to hit the we need to do some shows together. Like we need to just come up like with some shit to do together.
I was just about to say I'm gonna message you as soon as we get
Yeah,
off.
message me. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Hell yeah.
And thank you for being up here and coming through and
Appreciate
yeah, and doing your thing. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you for having me, man. We'll talk soon for sure.
All right, Kendall, good night.
All right.
Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all one more time. Stop playing with my motherfucking name. Y'all gotta trust your king. Y'all gotta trust your king. When I say, look, relax, honey. I done did this. I do this. This is my real life, honey. This is why I got disciples and shit. Like, I does this. Y'all be too scared. If you say you believe in God and you believe in the goodness, look at how Big Rainy came up here, got prayed for, got counsel, and Big Rainy has stayed true to his self-imposed injunction as it relates to Miss Andrea Garrison. Look at that. Child, let these crazy people talk what they want to do, baby. We are the truth and the power over here, baby. We the truth, baby. I want y'all, when y'all see trouble and y'all see me willing to bring trouble to the platform, I want y'all to get excited about what we're trying to do. Because healing and solidarity and resolve is always the case. It's always the case. That's always the agenda. Always, honey. So I hope that we've been consistent enough over here. I hope that we done this. I hope I done proved myself, baby. Like, you should know that you know now. Like, just trust me. I don't need you stressed out. I don't need you stressed out. I don't need you worried. Trust me. Okay? Just trust me, honey. Okay? And y'all, I told y'all earlier on in the comment, I said, look, I don't need no negative energy. I don't need y'all being stressed. I don't need your blood pressure being up. I just need y'all to hold the space. Anybody who believes in a possibility, honey. And look, just like in the words of Jesus, it's your faith that makes you whole. Okay? The believers was in the building tonight. The believers. Even if your belief and your faith was the size of a mustard seed, baby, you was like, you know what? This shit probably gonna blow up in Consciouztv face once again, honey. It'll be another shit show, and we'll be here for it, honey. But it's probably gonna be another shit show, but just maybe, well, that just maybe was enough for you to hold the space with, baby. And everything turned all motherfucking right, baby. Actually exceeded expectations, honey. So I just want to shout out to Knockout Media. Bless Knockout Media. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being unyielding. Thank you for standing your ground. Thank you for being strong. You are officially endorsed by the Consciouztv platform. You have absolutely proved yourself and showed your heart, and you showed that you aren't a clout chaser. You are after healing as well, that you are a part of the tribe. So bless you, and I love you. And breaking the culture, my God, like, you was ready tonight to just give and take and give and take, and that ebb and flow was just right. It was just enough for you and MsMikko to be able to lay it down, to just lay it down with understanding of one another and why y'all both felt the way y'all felt and experienced each other the way that y'all experienced each other. So shout out to you, a Breaking the Culture girl. you know, just shout out to you. And to MsMikko, bad bitch. Just period, honey. Strong, passionate, protective, independent, and just an all-out fucking survivor. Point blank, period. For better and for worse. Walks in her red bottoms, in her shit. Shout out to you, MsMikko, and God bless you in the street ministry. Y'all make me proud tonight. This is what the kingdom is all about. This is what the kingdom is all about. And see, those people over there, they can never do the work, baby. They quick to make it ugly with each other. Don't know anything about how to actually get to the grown folk shit. Don't know how to do it the grown folk version way. And the grown folk version way still includes some bitches and some motherfuckers and some niggas. It also includes some insults, baby. That's a part of the grown folk version. But it's the effort. And it's the humanity in it. And it's the goal to see it through with the intention of making it better. That separates the fake from the motherfucking real. And that's why the motherfuckers can't touch us, baby. They can't touch us, baby. They can't touch us. They can't touch us, baby. They can't touch us. This was fucking epic. And this was goddamn legendary. Goddamn legendary, baby. Ah! Huh? I'm gonna give you a praise break on, Sean. Let me go get my praise break on. And you know what? I think it's appropriate to end this commentary tonight on no other than our minister of music's Y'all Niggas Ain't On Our Level. Because, baby, tonight we prove that ain't none, not now of these niggas is on MsMikko, Knockout Media's Breaking the Culture, Larry Reid, and Consciouztv's motherfucking level. Not now. Good night. God bless and happy holidays to you all.
Hey, what's up, Larry, baby? Listen, this is just a little remix to remind you that you are still the shiznit. So don't even worry about Darryl Moore the Bomb and his B-Team minions, because you had a purpose before they even had an opinion. You still got much love out here, and you are still winning. So let those haters hate, and let those trolls troll. Wow. They are just mad because they will never ever rise to your level. Y'all haters ain't on his 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 level. You ain't on his level. Here we go. We're gonna start with Darryl Moore. You ain't on his level. And I'll say your name, cause from the pits of the hell you came. You's a dirty old man. You came up with a lame ass plan. You tried to take Larry down, or with a proof that was unfound. Shame on you. Find something else better to do. Cause that same ditch that you dig in is the same ditch your ass gonna fall in. You recruited L. Carter, and his dumb ass ain't no smarter. And as a matter of fact, I think you want Larry's feet in your crack. Damn! Ain't on his level. Y'all niggas ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. You ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Y'all niggas ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. You ain't on his level. And what's up, Marcellus? Looking like Hannibal Burris. You're always making threats, but ain't never done a damn thing yet. Ain't you that gutter snake who made fun of a Larry's rape? You'll say it ain't so, but when we saw you on a video, shut the hell up and sip your tea, because a badass you'll never be. All you do is talk shit with that lame ass 18 clip. And now we got big little Kim, who really just wants to sit in. I won't go in on you, sis, but you so much better than this. And Roxanne, Darryl don't wanna be your man. He is just using you because he needs a clicking of you. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Y'all niggas ain't Blacklist the clean. Y'all haters ain't on his whoever the hell y'all be. You ain't on his level. Y'all the biggest haters I ever seen. Y'all niggas ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. You ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. You ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Y'all niggas ain't on his level. No, you will never be on his level. Hey, you tried it though. Gotta give you an A for effort, but you really gotta eat.